Yeah, it's 10 to 8, final day of walking, day 6. I'm in Seguero where I stopped last night. Lovely room, single room, and they upgraded me to an ensuite as well for no extra cost. So that's good. It's cold this morning. It's down to very small numbers, and it's foggy. So that's a first on this Camino. I'll show in a minute. I'll do a little turn around and you'll see what the weather's like in just a sec. There it is, you can see over there. That's the way I'm going, into the fog. Yeah, it's always comforting when you step out of your accommodation and see your first yellow arrow of the day. You know you're on the track straight away. Yes, it is cold this morning, very cold. I'm glad I brought this thicker fleece. There is talk of some rain later on. I've not had to use my poncho yet, so it might get a christening. But yeah, I'm glad I had a thick layer to put on top, because I would have noticed if it wasn't so foggy, you'd be able to see my breath. Yeah, just left the main road now, and you might be able to hear the traffic behind, but all of a sudden it's gone a lot quieter. I'm hoping to bump into some of the people I've met on the Camino. Anna Camino from yesterday, who didn't see the dinosaur. She didn't see it. She saw the horse, but she didn't see the dinosaur. And a couple of people I've made friends with from Maine. That's David and Abby, whose names I have remembered. In fact, Abby was Abigail Blake, so who knows? There might be a genetic connection somewhere. It'd be nice to... it's always nice when you hit the square in Santiago to have somebody around who you know to share the experience with. But I'm sure I won't be alone there, that's for sure. Oh, it's cold, so I'm going to keep moving. And a lovely pastel coloured sky this morning as the sun comes up through this mist. And it's probably only going to get better for a little while, but I've got to turn my back on that. I'm going down that way. Yeah, you're really starting to see the colours come through now up over here. Yeah, lovely. Look at that. And I can hear the click, click, click of the old walking poles behind me, so that can only mean one thing. It's the 5-second rule lady and her party. Down, disappearing in the distance are the 5-second rules with their clitty sticks. Yeah, they've done loads of Caminos, they told me. Yeah. And there's a shot of the sky. Sun's just about up now. There's an interesting thing, a natural little archway there. And look, it goes up like that. There's a trunklet. It goes across like that. It goes down there. And there's another trunk. It's a trunk into a trunk. They can do that now. Yeah, other than the 5-second rule group, I've not seen any pilgrims this morning. I set off about 8. I suspect that a lot of people set off before that because they want to get to Santiago early, so they don't have to queue so long to get their certificates, their Compostelas. So I'd like to bump into one or two if I can later on, just to say hi before the end of the Camino. So I've started to get a bit of a lick on now, but we'll see how it goes. If I don't, I don't. But if I do, I'd like to. Yes. Obviously, I won't be catching up with people if I keep stopping to film things like hanging gourds. Yes, and here's one of the slightly more unusual waymarkers. I think this might be Christopher Walken's sister or something. Got a dicky old arm. Yeah, they do make a lovely couple though, don't they? Yeah. Right, and there's the latest waymarker, and you can see we're down to 10, just over 10. So we've done the 100, just the 10 left to go now. Yeah. So this Camino, like all the others, ends in Santiago, and I've obviously finished there a number of times. This one is slightly different in respect that we're coming in from the north on this one, and if you finish on a lot of the others, it's like, particularly on the Portuguese side, it's you're climbing for a long time. But joy of joys, this one seems to be largely downhill into Santiago. So you can imagine if you've done 12 or 13 days on the Portuguese Camino, and then the last the last few miles is uphill, it's a real old drag. But this is like almost got the wind behind you here. I'm just looking for the next arrow. Where are we? There, right. So yeah, I think about another hour and a half and I'll be there. And we're into a little forest, and there's none of that tall, slim, straight eucalyptus here. It's all twisty, turny. Lots of birds around as well, probably more places to nest. Yeah, it's like a hobbit forest, isn't it? I don't know, but I know there's some kind of witch business up there in the tree. I don't know. Is that it? You know, if you want to get punters coming in, you've got to do a little bit better than that, haven't you? Really. Yeah, so there's my walking shoes. Ultra Lone Peaks, very good. They're not waterproof, but I never had a blister. But there's one bit of ground they're not good on. That's downhill gravel. Several times my feet have shot out from underneath me. So, and what are we on now? Downhill gravel. So I'm going to have to concentrate a little bit now. I don't know if you can see these, but they're tiny little, I suppose they'd be like narcissi, wild narcissi. Beautiful little things. Yeah, very nice forest track here, down by following this little river along. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, just hitting the outskirts of Santiago now. Lovely buildings here again. Renovated all the old buildings, very nicely done, isn't it? But then again, not all of them. There we are, common thread, isn't it? Really good against whoops for Daisy. And as you see up ahead, a very interesting vehicle. It's a Camino mapping system, and he's seems to be following the route of the Camino Ingles. So there's something. So you're always trying to improve things for us mere pilgrims, so we'll be able to have a visual map of the whole way, I'd imagine, of the Camino Ingles. Perhaps I should have asked for a lift. And I've just had a thought, if he's doing the old Google mapping thing, and he's got his cameras rolling, I'll be on there, won't I? I'll have to look out for that. And just hitting the medieval part of the city, and I think you can just see the twin towers of the cathedral up ahead there, and the other ecclesiastical buildings. So just a few hundred yards to go now. Yeah, and here we are in the old town. Very close now. This is. I always get a bit excited when I get in here. And here we are. There's the cathedral. Made it. Very quiet at the moment. Still early. I'm going to find. It's really hard to photograph this. It's really beautiful buildings around here. You can see all over here. It's a square. So I'm going to position myself here for a little while and see if I can see any of my Camino friends arriving. And as you can see, it's raining. So that's the first drop of rain since I got into Spain. How about that? So there we are. That's it. I'm in the Hotel Mexico in Santiago, setting off to meet some friends tomorrow back in Madrid, but that's the end of the Camino. And just by way of signing off, I'd like to say that it was tough. It was tough, and if you've not done a Camino and thinking about doing one, I wouldn't do this one as first off, because it'll give you a false impression about some of the others. Certainly the Portuguese Caminos have done, although they've got their challenges, overall are not as tough as this one. So if you're thinking of doing your first Camino, I'd still go for maybe the Portuguese Central. at least the first half, up to Valencia, which is about the same distance as I've just done. But and there are some hills and some challenges, but they're a bit more spread out, and you get a little bit more of a chance to recover in between the hills. But otherwise, it's been really good. I met some nice people, and I'm looking forward to my next Camino, which will be in the end of August. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed the videos. Take care.